Hey, good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we examine headlines from our city, state, and country, Mexico, of course, and we take a look at your thoughts and ideas about how to best live a well-connected life here in Puerto Vallarta, connected to our friends in our community, connected to Mexico's culture and rich heritage, way of life, as a community of English-speaking locals calling this city our permanent home. Although we also welcome many of you who are here seasonally and and in whose hearts Puerto Vallarta occupies an important space. For those of you that are far away, such as Ryan, who is writing to us, or connecting with us rather, all the way from Chevy Chase, Maryland, it is a pleasure to get together with you today. It is Thursday, April 21st, and we have a little bit of news. I have a little bit of commentary on my activities. Yesterday, I had all kinds of fun things that took place in Colonia Emiliano Zapata. So it was nice to stretch out my legs and take a look at what's going on. And most importantly, it was nice to start building content for you, preparing content to share during the weekend in which I'm going to Guadalajara on a small vacation. Yay, we're going on vacation. A little one. But I want to make sure that we maintain our connection during the days in which we will have pre-recorded broadcasts. So, as always, we encourage everyone and anyone that is new to the broadcast and watching live for the first time, or maybe you've been watching and not commenting much, feel free to let us know that you are here by writing the word new, and we will be so happy to give you a nice little welcome. Also, if you have important things that you want to share or you want a comment about, please add did I just say about? That sounds Canadian to me, but what do I know? Please add a capital letter Q to your comment so that we can find it during our comment section. And today, of course, excuse me, we're going to have a poll that has to do with a topic that is very dear to my heart, and we will do this right before we head over to the news. So we might as well get started with the news section. I mean, right before we head over to the weather. Now we start with the news section. Where is my coffee today? Okay, clearly I'm not awake, or as awake as I should be, and clearly I wasn't awake yesterday. There was a quake. Did you feel the quake yesterday? The National Earthquake Service reported a magnitude 4.5 earthquake yesterday shortly after 2 p.m. with an epicenter located 313 kilometers southeast of Puerto Vallarta. I know I was sitting down for lunch, but I did not feel a thing. And the good thing is that authorities have not reported any damages to date. Uh, let's see. Oh, this is sad. This issue of fish appearing to be dead, or dead fish appearing at local beaches, continues to happen. And now it has happened in the town of Bucerias. Once again, the number of dead fish was considerable. Once again, the authorities do not seem to have a definitive answer as to why this is happening. And of course, they proceeded to eliminate them as soon as possible so that they would not interfere with tourism presently enjoying their Semana de Pascua vacation. And yesterday, we reported on the city of Oaxaca's decision to allow cannabis smoking in public places, provided that there are no children present. This is the first city in Puerto Vallarta, in Mexico, to designate such an important decision for its public spaces. Now, this must have had an effect in Mexico's Senate, since its president, Olga Sanchez Cordero, stated that she is hopeful that a vote will finally come to legislate production and consumption of marijuana this coming week. According to information she shared during an interview, the one issue holding back the legislation, the one stumbling block, is the minimum legal age allowed to partake. Is our brain and our thought process fully matured at 18 years of age? How about at 21 or even 25? And even though this conversation has gone around the Senate a number of times, and still no decision has been made. Of course, yesterday being April 20 or 420, a number of groups protested along Reforma Avenue in Mexico City, right in front of the Senate, with a cultural and artistic festival. And if I'm grinning, it's because my next door neighbor, who has a habit of lighting up downstairs on the sidewalk, well, let's just say that the breeze coming in through my window is rather and unexpectedly inspired right at this very moment. Too early for me. I have a lot of things to do. We have previously reported on the avocado price increase, but now it's getting pretty absurd and pretty ugly, with places selling a kilo of avocado for as much as 100 pesos. That's a lot of money for your guacamole. And given the fact that the export period to the United States is approaching, prices are bound to increase even more. This was stated by Francisco Javier Zaragoza, who is the president of the Mercado de Abastos de Guadalajara's union, or the produce market in Guadalajara. This is one of the largest in the country. And it is worth mentioning that this very important produce market has direct exportation channels to the United States. So be mindful of your bill if you find yourself ordering some guac and not quite understanding why your bill got a little higher than usual. And now I would like to set up a poll about something that is interesting to me and hopefully interesting to you as well. In recent past, we have reported a number of times, what I would think an increasing number of times, of learning opportunities in Puerto Vallarta. There have been tarot readings in the living room bookstore, and open mic poetry readings there as well. We have reported on how to paint little mandala dots on bottles at the annex, at the witchery, and other craft-related projects that they have. We have reported in the past on courses and workshops taking place at Art Vallarta, and it would seem that the options to have learning experiences here in Puerto Vallarta are on the rise. This makes my heart tingle with excitement because I'm compulsively curious. And not only is this increasing, but the focus of these workshops being targeted for locals, not so much for tourists, seems to also be on the rise. So the question that would like to place on a poll, which should be appearing on your screens momentarily, is how interested are you in more learning opportunities such as lectures and workshops here in Puerto Vallarta? Do you want to see more happening? Are you okay with the current offerings? I'm going to leave this poll on the screen for you to kindly take a look at it, and we will come back to it right after the weather. Netflix killed Blockbuster so that it could one day turn itself into the next Blockbuster. But that happened many years ago. What is our snarky weather up to today? I have no idea. But what I can see is that we are enjoying 26 degrees Celsius right now, feels like 28. Humidity is high at 62%, and our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 79. Our forecast for today, it's going to be a humid day with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 19. Tomorrow, we can expect to wrap our work week with a clear day, a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 19. And finally, Saturday will be a clear day with a high temperature of 30 and a low temperature of 18. Okay, so before we continue with the rest of the broadcast, let me take a quick look at the poll. And the poll is showing what I hope it would be showing, which means that at present time, the majority of you, 52%, are very interested in more learning opportunities. 35% of you are somewhat interested, and 15% of you are not interested. No shade. Um, this is it's no big deal. I mean, not everybody wants to go and take workshops, and that's perfectly fine. But what I would like to ask you now, and I would welcome an interesting and nurturing exchange of ideas, is if you are very interested in more learning opportunities, what kind of lectures or workshops would you attend? And this is an invitation for you to write in your comments any idea that you think would get you off your comfortable couch for you to go and participate. It could be out in the woods. It could be learning a new skill. It could be sitting at a lecture. Don't hold back, because I want to volunteer that there are some people out there that are very interested in creating more of an offer of learning opportunities here in Puerto Vallarta for us English-speaking locals, and I'm very excited about that. And I'm also very curious to hear what kind of topics you might find interesting to learn more about. So let me rewind your comments, and we will let your new comments happen as we start reviewing what you've written already, starting with your wonderful good mornings. I might add that yesterday, let me tell you about my day yesterday. Yesterday, I went into town. I had to go to the yarn store to buy some emergency yarn for one project that I'm working on right now. I've said to myself, Paco, no more yarn purchases until you go to Guadalajara, because that's where I'm hoping to find all kinds of options when it comes to yarn. Then I went and had lunch with my dear friend Rob of the Co-work Hotel, and I was very excited to sit down and see how the space is recovering after the collapse of the Insurgente Street Bridge, and all kinds of interesting plans that they have put together for the space. And I took a photograph that I will be ready to show you tomorrow. Yesterday was a long day, and I didn't have to prep things. I didn't have time to prep things for today's broadcast, but I took a photograph of a very unexpected and very comfortable space within the Co-work Hotel, where you can actually sit down and read a book, or hang out. You won't have access to Wi-Fi unless you are using the Co-work. But if you find yourself in town and you need a place to sit down and just chill for a few minutes, or read, or in my case, sit down and whip out a crochet project for a little while, there's not that many spaces to do that. And I discovered one, and I'll show you the photograph tomorrow. I asked Rob of the of the hotel, is this kosher? I mean, can people just do this? And he said to me, well, I mean, if we all of a sudden see hundreds of people coming in here and sitting down, we may have to do something about it. But ultimately, it's an open space and people are welcome to use it. So there you have it. Then I proceeded to get together with my very, very dear friends, Ian and Juanito, in. We got together for coffee. They are dear friends of mine from Tepic, and I noticed that Ian was watching earlier. Papi, te quiero mucho. And it was great to see my dear friends. They work in academics. They're a gay couple that working in academics in the city of Tepic and very involved with important community projects. And we had a lovely exchange of words and ideas at a page in the Sun, where I might add, we also had the unfortunate experience of witnessing um, an attempt to shoplift, not shoplift, to steal a phone that a lady had left on top of her table. This is sad. This is sad to witness, particularly when the thief was not even an adult. He was just a young kid who was found, and there was nothing happened. But ultimately, we were all startled. Let this be a reminder to all of us that when you are out and about in Puerto Vallarta, you still need to be mindful of your big belongings when you're sitting down at a public place. At a public place, this is not a curse or something that is happening particularly in our city. Don't get all excited about insecurity. I think this is common sense in any tourist destination. You are mindful of your belongings. And of course, after that, I went over to my dear friend Julie Guerrero's spaces, her office, where she held a meet and greet for a couple of business owners that are starting a new business in Puerto Vallarta. And again, it was great to mingle with other local working English speaking folk. And afterwards, we wrapped our day. I was with our friend Logan. We wrapped our day by taking a quick Uber to Whiskey Kitchen, where we were able to sit down and enjoy a nice meal with Gina. Always a pleasure to be there. And we learned that the guitarist and vocalist from our favorite band, Eyes on Earth, are going to be performing live on Saturday evening. So this might be an interesting opportunity. You are reminded, or I'd like to remind you, that Whiskey Kitchen in Versalles, Gina has opted for only presenting acoustic music. So it's not going to be loud anything. That's both a matter of choice and also a matter of surroundings. She wants to be respectful of the community. So that's my quick and dirty about yesterday. I took a bunch of photos and I started prepping content for my vacation, and I'm just really excited about that. Thank you for letting me indulge with a little bit of my adventures from yesterday. Now, we see that Violeta Valencia, I am a pata salada in heart currently in Los Cabos. It's great to see you. Lots of good mornings. Hello, Rita. It is always a pleasure to see you watching and to cross paths with you. Let's see what else. Kate wants to see my t-shirt. No problem. I am wearing my Jazz is Cool. Jazz It Up. That's my Jazz It Up t-shirt. It came from from my favorite t-shirt shop, Optima, which I visited yesterday. It's funny because now I have this habit. Every time I walk past Optima, this time around it was in El Centro, I always sneak my head in because they seem to rotate their t-shirt designs quite frequently. And then if you go back and try to find it, then it's gone. So that's part of what I did yesterday. There's my friend Ian watching. So inspiring to see younger gay men trying to create community and not so much focus only on the dancing and the discos and the nightlife. My friends are part of a wonderful collective in Tepic, where they create awareness of important health topics and cultural topics that are that should be meaningful to the LGBT community. Let's see what else we have. Craig asks, did you happen to see the old condo building on the east side of Lázaro Cárdenas is being renovated and units being sold for $1 million plus? Wow, I did not notice that, Craig. It's so funny because I'm assuming you're talking about the big building that has been in disrepair for so many years. You know, I don't know much about architecture and building engineering, but that building has been asleep for so long. I would feel so weird about investing in a unit in that building. But hey, to each their own. There is my friend Juanito, also watching. Juanito, los quiero mucho. It was great to see you guys yesterday. Uh, Anyone else smell fish last night, Bayview, Grand Marina area? Well, we have just reported of dead fish appearing in local beaches, so it could be a situation in which this is happening in the Marina area as well. Let's see. Hello, Rubina, and welcome back from cold and rainy Vancouver. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's see. Buenos dias from an Uber heading into the office. A bit behind schedule. No bike for me today. Late night at Whiskey Kitchen. I was there. But so worth it. Thanks for the first laugh of the day. Thank you, Logan, for being a part of our community and for being a part of my life, of course. Dave clarifies that Netflix is now on the skids, losing so much of its value in just one day. I've read somewhere that Netflix is losing subscribers primarily because they're not allowing you to share your account anymore, but I'm not up to speed with that. Then we start getting into your comments about learning experiences. Ronnie mentions that she would like to learn more about Mexico. Let's see. Oh, that's a great comment on that building. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. That building has many issues. I'm not surprised. Dan says Kathy and I would go to a Tai Chi if it was offered. Lectures on Mexican history. Learning more about the history and art of Puerto Vallarta. Kathy here, I would enjoy some sort of history of Puerto Vallarta walking tour. Fascinating. Logan just spent part of his Easter Sunday in a 4-day yoga retreat in Mismaloya. That's always a good idea. Ryan, who's not a full-time resident but is hoping to spend more time here, would enjoy lectures on Mexican history, Mexican art, and artists and architecture are all of interest. I noticed that there's a lot of interest in Mexican history. I am so excited about that. Let's see. Oh, Ronnie is here. Ronnie is the person that unfortunately. Oh, I was not aware of that, Ronnie. Ronnie clarifies that she did not leave the phone on the table. It was in her hand, and this young man actually reached across and snatched it or attempted to snatch it. That is horrible. But Ronnie and I exchanged hugs yesterday. I wanted to make sure that she felt okay after the incident. Can any cluster member who got the fourth shot share where they got them, please, says Mark Jennings. There was a comment yesterday of locations, and of course the news item from yesterday also showed that there is a website which you can check to see where are the community centers. We have a few community centers listed in our general reference map. Mark, you're always welcome to take a look at that. In the map, of course, is available through our website. Rita says, music workshops with Paco, please combine with dinner at Oculto. Magnifico. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's not exactly what we had in mind, but music lectures is definitely something that I've been waiting through the pandemic for the proper time and the proper venue. It seems to me like this must and will happen sometime in the future. And the final comment about lectures has to do with lectures on history of Mexican food. My goodness, I think you are all part of my team because of all these wonderful suggestions. Yes, this is the last comment that we have on this topic. I am very, very grateful, and I hope that the people that I suggested tune in today to listen to your feedback, which is extremely valuable, are paying attention. As always, I consider you a great source of information as a well-established community of English-speaking locals for us to get a good sense as to what is important, what is needed the most for us to continue to connect here living in Puerto Vallarta. There is a new comment that just appeared from Spencer. New and question. I have been following you since my vacation business stay from 1/6 to 2/17. Certainly appreciate your vlog. Will continue. I certainly appreciate the opening music. What is it from? Gracias, says Spencer Tracy. Well, the music is music that is available from there are several sources of music that is commercial free, not commercial free, music that you can use without infringing copyright law. So it is that type of music. I don't know the name of the piece. Somebody Googled it the other day, but it is just jazzy music that I felt conveyed the atmosphere that we wish to have here. It's not something that you can go and buy and enjoy in an album because it was designed to be used by projects like mine. And if that is not clear, please know that if I had decided to use something like Cat Stevens' Morning Has Broken or any song that is commercially available, let's just say that both Facebook and YouTube would have come down on me a long, long time ago. That is just the nature of music and copyright out there. But Spencer Tracy, welcome to Coffee and Headlines, and I appreciate your question, and I certainly hope that you will continue to watch with us moving forward. And speaking of moving forward, it is that time to wrap things up. I once again want to thank you for all the comments that you shared today. They are very inspiring to me, and hopefully they will be very useful to those people that are interested in creating more opportunities for all of us to enjoy. A parting bit of information. Thank you, Paco. I know that vaccination is available every day at IMSS 179 and IMSS 170 from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day until April 30. Thank you very much for that, Robert. It so happens that those two clinics are listed on our general reference map. So if you're looking for a prick, you will know where to find one. Thank you so much for today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Have an awesome day.